Hey guys, I am in Mississauga and I'm at the Civic Center. Hey Jean-Marc, is it Jean-Marc? Sorry. Thanks for joining. The Remembrance Day ceremony is just about to begin, just in a couple of minutes. Jean-Marc, okay, great. Perfect. 139, thanks for joining everyone. Yeah, please share on with all your friends by swiping right on iPhone and swiping up on Android. That would be great. The ceremonies are going to start in just a couple of minutes, and I wanted to bring it to Periscope and to anyone that knows of anyone in Mississauga or surrounding areas. I know there's a lot of Memorial Remembrance Day ceremonies going on, but I thought I would come here to my own town, Mississauga. Here, take a look around. I'll show you. Hey, John. I thought I'd show Mississauga and come out to the Remembrance Day ceremony at Celebration Square at our Civic Center. Everybody's getting ready, and it's going to start at 10:45 and go till about 11:20. So what I'll do is I'm going to only speak limited while people are speaking. Hi Karen, nice ceremony. Hi from Toronto. Yes, hi John. I just wanted to share the ceremony with everyone, and I ask that you, if you could, just to share it out with all your followers by swiping right on iPhone. Hello from North Carolina. Nasty, hello. Thanks for joining. Salon, hello. Garrow, I hope I said that right. Art, thanks for joining everyone. I'm here in Mississauga, and the Remembrance Day ceremony is just about to begin at the city center here. I see that we've got a children's choir here, and the red carpet for the delegates to come in on. It should be starting at 10:45 Eastern time, so now, if not in the next minute or two. Please stay with the broadcast. That would be fantastic. Thanks for the hearts, everyone. It would be great if you followed me on Twitter at karenmancini. I scope in and around Toronto. And if you follow me here on Periscope, I would love to have you on board on my scopes. Thanks for everyone on the replay, and hello to everybody on Apple TV. I need to get my Apple TV. So they're going to be talking at the podium here, and the guy in the sweater, he knows that I'm recording, so I'm not sure what he's going to do once it starts. We'll have to see. I'll move a little closer if he's standing there in front of the podium. But they are going to start, what time is it? 10:47 right now? Very, very soon. So let me just pan around again. I'm in Mississauga. And this is Celebration Square. We have a lot of stuff going on here. We're very multicultural here in Mississauga. See those very large screens right there in the far distance? Hello, Salon. We have concerts here. We have so many festivals every weekend. They play movies here. There's a huge lawn that people lay on and bring their blankets, and they picnic. And if I go, no, I can't see the towers. I was going to show you the Maryland Towers. Razim, thanks for joining. All new followers, if you can share the broadcast, that would be fantastic. I hope that it's not too dark. It's very overcast here. It rained yesterday, so I'm glad that it's holding off for the ceremony. So you're tuning into the Remembrance Day ceremony here at Civic Center, Community War Memorial here. Laying of the wreath. We'll have a couple of minutes of silence. What I didn't know is that when you buy your poppies, and if you do have loved ones that were lost in conflict, civilians or in the war fighting. Once the ceremony's over, normally people lay the poppy on the grave site or on the memorial. So I wasn't in tune on that. So that was a nice little piece of information. And normally people wear the poppy on the left side above the heart. So we're just waiting for the ceremony to start. Things never start on time, right? It's a couple of minutes away, I'm sure. I see the seats still need to be filled just right over here. And there's a lot of people standing off to the side and a lot of people behind me. Again, thanks for joining. If you're joining just now. Oh, hi. Thank you. Oh, so I'm just going to stay quiet as much as possible through the ceremony, definitely through the 2 minutes. I'm going to take out my headphone piece. Maybe you can hear it a little bit better. It's the Remembrance Day in Mississauga at the Civic Center. So we hear the bagpipes in the background. I hope you can hear that all right. Please let me know if you can't, but I'm not sure what I can do otherwise. So let's just listen in.
Good morning, and thank you for attending this special service today. Bonjour, merci d'assister à ce service spécial aujourd'hui. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Janice Baker, City Manager and Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Mississauga, and it's my honor to be your MC today. We are streaming this Remembrance Day service on our city website so that everyone can participate and reflect on the significance of what this day means to Canadians. Before we proceed with the formal portion of our ceremony, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge a few people in attendance in our audience today. We have the Honourable Navdeep Bains, Member of Parliament for Mississauga-Malton and the Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development. We have Omar Al-Gabra, the MP for Mississauga Centre, and Ikra Khalid, the MP for Mississauga Erin Mills. We have French Catholic School Board Trustee Estelle Kiao. Mayor Bonnie Crombie is attending services in Streetsville, but we are honoured to be joined by Ward 3 Councillor Chris Fonseca, Ward 4 Councillor John Kovac, Ward 6 Councillor Ron Starr, and Ward 7 Councillor Nando Vinica. We also have members of the city's leadership team, our Commissioner of Transportation and Works, Martin Powell, Commissioner of Community Services, Paul Mitchum, and Commissioner of Corporate Services, Gary Kent. We have come together this morning to honor and remember the men and women who have served and continue to serve Canada during times of war, conflict, and peace. We remember the more than 2.3 million Canadians who have served throughout our nation's history and the more than 118,000 who have made the ultimate sacrifice. The City of Mississauga is a place where people choose to be. We would not have that choice without the sacrifice of those who fought for our freedom. The peaceful and democratic community we enjoy was created by the efforts and sacrifices of generations of Canadians who have put their lives on the line for peace and freedom around the world. Remembering and learning about all that they have done helps us to better understand our city's history and its future. To help us remember, Mississauga has erected cenotaphs and monuments in honor of the young Canadian soldiers who left our villages behind for the battlefields. A cenotaph is an empty tomb or a monument erected in honor of a person or group of people whose remains are elsewhere. Mississauga is proud to have 3 cenotaphs. The Port Credit Cenotaph was built in memory of the brave Port Credit men who answered the call to serve in World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. It was designed and constructed in 1925 by Louis Temporale, recipient of the Order of Canada for Master Craftsmanship in Stone Masonry. The Malton Cenotaph is located in Wildwood Park. Unveiled November 4th, 1978, by the Cenotaph Committee of the Malton Branch 528 of the Royal Canadian Legion, the monument is dedicated to those who lost their lives from Malton and surrounding areas. And the Streetsville Cenotaph is located in the village of Streetsville, where many of our fellow Mississaugans are gathered in service today. It was erected on July 1st, 1926, in memory of local veterans who answered the call to serve during World War I and World War II. The 17-foot-high cenotaph has been the center of many gatherings and ceremonies over the last 80 years. In addition to these cenotaphs, the city has created other places of commemoration, like the Garden of Remembrance in the Veterans section of Streetsville Public Cemetery. The garden features twin pillars with the inscriptions, "Lest we forget, and we will remember," that stand in honor and respect of those who answered the call to serve. And here before us today is the community memorial that has been the gathering place for ceremonies since its completion in June 2011. This monument has 21 candles made of glass. The candles are physical representation of the 21-gun salute used as a sign of peace, honor, and remembrance. The opening in the roof represents a single life lost. This monument is dedicated to those who have made a significant sacrifice to our country in times of war and peace. We also honor our loved ones, colleagues, and members of our community whom we have lost. The inscription, "We will remember them," reminds us of those that gave themselves to make our lives better. These candles burn in their memory. All of these places of remembrance, reflection, and thanks honor those who left their homes in Streetsville, Port Credit, Meadowvale, Arundel, Lorne Park, Dixie, Malton, and Clarkson to defend our freedom. Their bravery and the support of their families at home helped shape the city of Mississauga as we know it today. Just as we remember those who gave their lives long ago, we pay tribute to those who are currently serving their country. We are honored to have several veteran heroes attending our service this morning, and to you I offer our sincere thanks for all you have done for our country. It is because of your sacrifices and the sacrifices of all those we remember that we wear our poppies with pride today. I would also like to acknowledge our own fallen Mississauga soldier, Mark Diab, who lost his life in battle in 2009. Trooper Diab made the ultimate sacrifice for his country. We are honored to have his family represented here today by Gus Crayish and Douglas Hancock, and extend our heartfelt thanks for your sacrifice. To begin our observance, I would ask that you all join me in the singing of our national anthem, O Canada, in English and French, led by students of Ward 4's Choir Chorale des Élèves de l'École élémentaire catholique René Lamoureux.
Guard to the front. Salute.
Thank you very much. It's so wonderful to hear the children singing our national anthem in our official languages. Thank you all. Merci à tous. I would now like to welcome Major Robert Holliday, now retired, for the invocation.
Before we proceed to the consideration of the business that has brought us together, let us think reverently of those of our comrades who by sea, by land, and in the air laid down their lives for sovereign and country. Their sacrifice will ever inspire us to labor on to the end, so that those who survive and need our aid may be assured of assistance in the country in which we live and for which they died, may ever be worthy of the sacrifice they made. Thank you.
Thank you, Major Holliday. In May of 1915, in the trenches of the First World War, Lieutenant John McCrae, a medical officer from Guelph, Ontario, lost a friend and a comrade in battle. In his time of suffering, he noticed the poppies growing over the graves of fellow soldiers. To him, the poppies symbolized the great sacrifice so many were making for their country. This inspired him to write the poem, In Flanders Fields. We will now have a reading of this significant poem by Anna Yin, the City of Mississauga's inaugural Poet Laureate.
In Flanders Fields. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, low and low, that mark our place. And in the sky, the larks still bravely sing, fly scarcely heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, fell down, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from fading hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders land field.
Thank you, Anna. We will now hear the last post performed by veteran and Mississauga resident Nigel Soper. This will be followed by 2 minutes of silence. Thank you. I will now call again on Major Holiday to present the Act of Remembrance and read a poem titled, Why Wear a Poppy?
The last line of the word that I am going to reflect on in the Act of Remembrance is, we will remember them. I would like everyone attending to remember those words and respond when I state we will remember them. You respond with the words, we will remember them. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. The going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Thank you. What I'm about to read to you is this poem, Why Wear a Poppy. I came across this in my travels across Canada, reflecting on why wear a poppy. These words were written on a wall in Legion Hall out in Vancouver. And the individual had taken the time to physically sit and print it all out. I was so touched by it because it reflects very much on me as a youngster. When I was absent of a father, my dad's 3 brothers and 4 sisters who were all serving over in Europe. And this poem brings to mind that very cause. It reflects on a little boy, very much my age, when I think of that. So please wear a poppy, the lady said, and held one forth, but I shook my head. Then I stopped and watched as she'd offered it there, and her face was old and lined with care. But beneath the scars the years had made, there remained a smile that refused to fade. Boy came whistling down the street, bouncing along on carefree feet. His smile was full of joy and fun. Lady, said he, may I have one? And she pinned it on. She turned to say, why do we wear a poppy today? The lady smiled in a wistful way and answered, this is Remembrance Day. And the poppy there is a symbol for the gallant men who died in war. And because they did, you and I are free. So that's why we wear a poppy, you see. I had a boy about your size with golden hair and big blue eyes. He loved to play and jump and shout. Free as a bird, he would race about. As years went by, he learned and grew and became a man, as you will too. He was a fine and strong boy with such a boyish smile, but he stayed with us such a little while. When war broke out and he went away, I still remember his face that day when he smiled at me and said, goodbye, I'll be back soon, Mom, so please don't cry. But the war went on and he had to stay, and all I could think was wait and pray. Just let us hold of that awful fight. I can see it now in my dreams at night. With the tanks and guns and cruel barbed wire, and the mines and bullets, the bombs and fire, till at last the war was won. And that's why we wear a poppy, son. The small boy turned as if to go, then said to me, thanks, I'm glad to know. That sure did sound like an awful fight. But your son, did he come back all right? A tear rolled down each faded cheek. She shook her head and did not speak. I slunk away in sort of shame, and if you were me, you'd have done the same. For our thanks and giving are often delayed. Though our freedom was bought, thousands paid. And so when you see the poppy born, let us reflect on the burden borne by those who gave their very all and asked to answer their country's call, that we in home in peace might live, wear a poppy, remember and give. I don't know the author because it was not signed, so I can't give them the honor. But you know, this poem means so much to so many. And today, I can tell you, my namesake was killed in the First World War on the 23rd of October, 1918, just 3 weeks prior to passing and the end of World War I. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Major Holiday. I'm now going to ask Steve Toner, a member of our Mississauga Fire and Emergency Honor Guard, and his team to lead the formal wreath-laying ceremonies.
Left, right wheel, quick, smart.
We will now proceed with the wreath-laying ceremony. The first wreath today, presented on behalf of the residents of the City of Mississauga, will be presented by Councillor Chris Fonseca, Ward 3, Councillor John Kovac, Ward 4. The next wreath, presented on behalf of the residents of the City of Mississauga, will be presented by Councillor Ron Starr, Ward 6, Councillor Nando Inika, Ward 7. And the next wreath, on behalf of the constituents of Mississauga Centre, MP Algebra. next wreath, on behalf of the constituents of Mississauga, will be presented by MP Ikra Khalid. The next wreath, on behalf of constituents of Mississauga Malton, will be presented by MP Navdeep Baines. And the next wreath, presented on behalf of the constituents of Mississauga East, Cokesville, MPP Deepaka Demirla. And the next wreath, on behalf of Trooper Mark Diab, will be presented by family friends Gus Kriash, Douglas Hancock. The next wreath, on behalf of the veterans of 1812, will be presented by Barbara O'Neill, President, Heritage Mississauga. The next wreath will be presented on behalf of l'École élémentaire catholique René Lamarue by the French Catholic School Board Trustee Estelle Acquiao. And as you notice, there's a special presenter here, the grade 6 student, Tanya Gopinath. And our next wreath, presented on behalf of the New Beginnings Chinese Canadian Senior Group, will be presented by Henry Tse, Stephen So.
Escorts for the wreaths. Attention! By the center, quick march.
Thank you. As the final component to today's ceremony, I now invite everyone to place their poppy on the memorial as the students of Choir Chorale des Élevés de l'École Élémentaire Catholique René Lemereau lead us in the singing of On va changer le monde. Translation in English, we are going to change the world. Poppies are available at the Sea Cafe patio. Thank you all for attending our Remembrance Day ceremony. Merci d'assister à notre cérémonie de jour de souvenir. It is important to remember, not only today, but throughout the year, those who have served and continue to serve our country. After laying of the poppies, please join us in Sea Cafe for a tea, coffee, or hot chocolate. I also encourage you to visit the heritage display in the Great Hall, dedicated to the Canadian forces who assisted in liberation during the Warsaw Uprising in 1944. Please visit mississauga.ca/lestweforget to learn more about the local residents who answered the call to serve in World War I, or show your support on Facebook and Twitter by adding a Remembrance Day poppy to your picture. Thank you. Merci.
Public would like to lay these poppies on the memorial. Now's your time. You're just going to come and move right down this way. Any members of the public that want to lay the poppies, now's your time. You're just going to lay it right on the memorial.
Hey guys, so the ceremony's over. I'm not sure how many people are here, but here I'll pan around. So there's quite a good group of people for the Remembrance ceremony. And everyone who is watching on replay, thank you. Everyone on Apple TV, thank you. Thanks for the hearts. I know it's difficult when I have to be stationary here and I can't. Hello, Periscope Summit. Hello. So we're just in Mississauga. The Remembrance Day ceremonies just ended at the Civic Center here at Celebration Square. And this group of people are now just going to be walking up and laying their poppy down on the memorial. So they're just waiting for their turn to step up. So I hope everyone who popped in enjoyed a little bit of the Remembrance Day ceremonies. Thank you. And everyone on replays, thank you for taking the time out. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at karenmancini, and on Periscope, it's Karen Mancini as well. I thought it was an important thing to scope and just have it kind of in the archives, right, in Catch. So if anyone wants to look back on it, that they can. I know my vantage point wasn't the best, but you know what? A lot of this is you sit and you listen. It doesn't matter. You don't have to actually see the person who's speaking. It's all about remembering and being respectful. So I thought even though I wasn't able to actually get the person in the shot most of the time, I hope that you were able to hear them. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer as we listen to the bagpipes and we watch people come up to the memorial to lay their poppies down. And the sun is coming out in the sky. It rained here yesterday. Thanks. Have a great day too. Thanks for coming in. Hey, April. Just coming to the end of the Remembrance ceremonies here in Mississauga. I am Abe Dyke. Hello. People are just gathering now to lay their poppies on the memorial. And I'm going to just continue to scope while we listen to the wonderful bagpipes. And it's a beautiful day here in Mississauga. Anyone on replay, thank you for joining. And join me again. I scope in and around Toronto. So please follow me on Periscope at Karen Mancini and on Twitter so you can be notified when I'm periscoping. So we had a great crowd out today. Let me show you. All these people are waiting to lay their poppies. There's Celebration Square. You see the big screens up there. We have a lot of festivals in the summertime. They play movies on the big screen. You can get your blanket out there. There's a huge area where you can sit. Hey Mike, thanks for joining. We're just coming to the end. What's that? Invis? I didn't say that right, I'm sure. Just coming to the end of the Remembrance Day ceremony here in Mississauga at the Civic Center, right beside Celebration Square here. People, what you see in front of me are people gathering to lay their poppies down at the memorial in front of me. So yeah, maybe what I'll do is I'll try and walk. I'm gonna try and walk just by where the memorial is, if I can pass all these people. Yeah, I'm going to lower it. I'm trying something new. I'm trying a unipod, like just a leg here. I'm just going to try and maybe get through. See all these people? Great crowd of people, so I'm just going to come through here.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
So I'm going to come up this way. Here's a better view of our celebration square. So all these people here are waiting to lay their poppies down. This is our civic center. We have a bell tower way up there. Yeah, I like Toronto too. Mississauga is just about 20 minutes, 25 minutes outside of Toronto. So all these people are waiting to lay their poppies down at the memorial directly in front. So I'm just going to take a look at the memorial, see if I can give you a shot. You've been to Mississauga Celebration Square? So anyone just joining, thank you. If you're watching on replay, thank you for taking the time out to watch on replay. Hi, Papa Guido. Thanks for joining. Oh, well, next time you have to pop by the square. It's really, really nice. A4. That's quite a bit to say there. Thanks for joining. And you can see Christmas decorations have already started. So again, people waiting to lay their poppies down. So I'm going to try and get a better view of the memorial.
Should we want to go by the wreath or do we want to go by the banquet? Let's
Yeah, everyone's trying to get fixed. Hi, if you're just joining, people are congregating here, waiting to lay their poppies down on the memorial. We're here in Mississauga. Yeah, very nice. Thank you.
I don't know when it is. They usually have it on a Saturday. You want me to find out when it is for you? Once we get paid, I can take your number. Okay. Let's put the one. No, I don't have one. Yeah,
I'm just going to walk over here, guys. I'm just going to quickly show you Celebration Square and the big lawn they have festivals in. It's very nice in the summertime. See the towering condos in the background. Sorry for being shaky. So here, this is Celebration Square, where they have tons of activities throughout the summer. Concerts, festivals, rib roasts. Fantastic. It's huge. And then you see the Maryland Towers in the background right over there. And they're called the Maryland Towers, the Monroe Towers, because of the shape. And I'm sure I don't need to explain that. And we have just in the distance over there, beyond the buildings and across the street, is our very huge Square One Mall. Huge, that they're renovating. It's massive. So the Monroe Towers, beautiful towers. I've lived in, you've been there? Awesome. I've lived in Mississauga many years, probably about 12 years or so. Excuse me. Vigo 25. Hello, welcome. Just in Mississauga with the Remembrance ceremony has just ended. I'm just taking you through to just take a look at the square and the celebration square. In any case, every time I walk past or drive past these Monroe buildings, I always am in awe of them. They do not get boring. And when I'm flying into the airport, which is about 15 minutes from me here, you can see them from the airport or from the sky. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, this is Celebration Square. It's a beautiful square here. Is the QEW traffic as busy as? Yes, it is as busy as ever, and it's going to get worse because of all the major construction. They were down to 2 lanes for a couple of years. I'd say it's been at least a year and a half. I think it was terrible. And I used to work downtown, right downtown, for many, 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 many years. It would take me just over an hour to get in, which is actually pretty good for rush hour traffic in the morning, but it's still bad. So beautiful, beautiful green space here for festivals, car shows, many, 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 many things go on here. So here I'm just going to pan around so you see what I see. Also, I've spent plenty of time waiting on the DVP. Yes, waiting on the DVP for sure. The DVP, for people that don't know, take you north out of the city and south into the city. So this is our civic center, and I always like showing the clock tower. I love clock towers. Beautiful. So just in the distance there, the Remembrance ceremony was taking place, and it's now concluding. People are laying their poppies down on the memorial. What you see here in the white, and you see the island there, this is a fountain in the summertime where kids can run and play and get wet, have a great time. Now in the wintertime, it's going to be converted. Yeah, for sure. I love clock towers for some reason. But this white area used to be a fountain, and now it's being turned into a skating rink, and I think you'll probably be able to skate on it in a matter of a couple of weeks. Hi from Italy. I am here in Mississauga. I scope Mississauga, surrounding areas, and Toronto. Try and give you as much content as I can. So I want to show off my city. And I've just, you might have to check out the replay, but I just finished scoping, looks like a mini city hall rink. Yeah, well, it is at the Civic Center, so yeah, I would call it that. And I'll come back when they've set up all the decorations. They're going to have a tree ceremony, lighting ceremony, etc. But I've just finished scoping the Remembrance Day ceremony in the distance here. and I wanted to just pan around and just show you Celebration Square and the Civic Center area. Those are Monroe Towers, condo buildings that you can see from the sky. They're very, very beautiful. I don't have to tell you why they're called Monroe buildings. And here is our Celebration Square. Canada is beautiful, Manuel. Toronto. I'm in the Toronto area in Ontario. Dudley, hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Anyone on replay who's just popped in, thank you. I know in Apple TV, I'm sure that you could just pop in and out. So I'm just going to walk back over to the memorial just to give you a final view. You're from the UK, Dudley. Well, please join the group of followers, and you'll get notifications when I scope, and I would love to see you again in my scope. And follow me on Twitter at Karen Mancini. That would be fantastic. Oops, sorry about that. So I scope Toronto, Mississauga, wherever I am. I scope just to share. I like to share with people. So I am going to close out the scope on the... Thanks, Dudley. So this is the memorial, and you can watch a little bit of the ceremony if you want on replay, and you can watch all of my scopes. A lot of my scopes are on catch.me/Karen Mancini. So it's catch, KATCH.me/Karen Mancini. You can catch a lot of my scopes there. Thank you very much, BN for coming in. Again, guys, here's another thing for you. If you want to see Scope Day just happened this past Saturday. It was fantastic. 62 broadcasters, 41 or 42 cities, 6 continents, and in 16 hours we did 15 minutes each, and I was one of 2 content scopers in Toronto who represented Canada. Oh, I'm so glad, Dudley. Did you see the Niagara Falls on Scope Day? That was mine. That was mine. Not. But yeah, so all the replays are on catch.me/events, plural, /Scope Day. Hi, Moon Fixer. Thanks for joining. Yeah, the falls were awesome. That's awesome, Dudley, that you saw that. BN, that's great. We're going to have another Scope Day probably in January, so look forward to that. It's going to be really good. Really fun stuff. So guys, if you're not following me, please follow me on Periscope. I would really love to have you back in the scope. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to stop in and say hello and show your love. I see those green hearts. Thank you so much. And on Twitter, you can follow me at Karen Mancini, just so you don't miss out, and you'll get all the notifications when I'm on. And any notifications where I'm following someone on Periscope that I would like to share and have people enjoy. So thanks again, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I will scope with you later. Take care, guys.